7 o'clock, the Town of Granby Conservation Commission will hold its meeting on this March 27, 2018. The time is 7 o'clock. We will start with Building and Board of Health applicants. I'm guessing, Jim, you're the only one at this point. I'm going to recuse myself. I did not work on this project, but Mr. Naraki.
I just looked at this and I might possibly have answered my question, but I want a time constraint. We're building a house over there. Had a perk test that was okay, approved by the town. The well permits in. I'm supposed to have a well coming Friday. I just want to make sure that when I was at the town, Kathy Leonard said that conservation has to sign off on it. So I want to just make sure I don't have any bumps in the road, but I just realized that I believe if this, I'm looking at this right, you guys already approved this, so.
Let's take a look. What's your name for the record?
Do you have the sign-off sheet from the building inspector? That's the only thing we sign off on.
Okay. I just noticed the check there. I haven't got, I'm actually going to meet him tomorrow.
So do you know anything about that?
Well,
What property is this?
let me look. It's on Lion Street, Amanda, if you could look it up, please.
It will be 4 lines, if not.
Yeah, it's near the pond on the corner of Lions and Carver.
Now, didn't somebody else come in for that, a lot there?
That would have been me. I had an A&R done because I own more of the
No, was it you? I thought it was somebody else.
How do I spell it?
N-A-W-R-O-C.
Oh, no, the street. Sorry.
Lines,
No, the guy who,
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, hold on, let's pipe down, guys. One at a, now that we're on video, I
Right.
think we really have to adhere to the one person at a time discussion approach, because if we start chit-chatting like we normally do, no one will understand a bloody thing.
What street did you say it was in?
So this is Lyons, L-Y-O-N-S, Lyons Street,
Yep.
which is right on the Ludlow border. And Mr. Naraki looks like he's building a new 3-bedroom house.
Correct.
And Jim, when did you do the perk test? This year, last year?
This year.
Okay, so you did this year. And where's your water table? 56 inches. And there seems to be a little stream to the south of the site. Amanda, could you look that up, please?
Is it,
Well, there it is, yeah. Ed, you know where it is.
is the one my cursor's on?
Again, I didn't work on this project.
Okay, great.
Mr. Woods, or who did it? Survey? Who did the
where's
survey?
Lions intersect the other road near the pond? I'm trying to get
Carver
my,
Street.
Carver, yeah, where's that intersection?
With Carver? Oh, it's like right there.
Oh, all right. Oh, all right. So it's across the street from the pond.
Correct.
Yep.
So it must be within 100 feet, or it's close to it.
Well, the question is that stream perennial or intermittent?
Intermittent.
That's the issue. Well, we have to demonstrate that. Can you check that out, Amanda?
By just selecting it? I was gonna measure how far first.
That is, I thought perennial, the one that runs behind Hatch.
Well, that means you got to go to stream stats now, and look
Yeah.
up stream stats. Sorry for the delay, Jim.
That's okay.
So I don't remember this coming before us, so I don't understand why that's checked, or where that came from. What's it say there?
Oh, no, this Board of Health, that's just that they have to bring granular
this
fill
one
into the
here.
project. It says observation port, 4-inch PVC perforated, use threaded cap and rebar tie, T at bottom.
All right, so it's not checked off in
Oh,
conservation?
no.
Okay, he said it was.
I can't see that it is. How could it be checked off? You just brought it, it's a brand new design.
Okay, I could be wrong. I just, when I looked at it,
Yeah.
it must be the other lines that look just like this one. That's all. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I can't see the,
Do you have your regular building permit thing?
I'm going to see him tomorrow. I just
Oh,
want to know
okay.
if there's anything I need to do so I can not delay
Okay.
any more than.
yeah,
that's-
well, you want to build the house, obviously.
Yes.
How do I, get
Oh,
to-
that stream's coming right out of the pond?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do a delineation point. You have to click delineate watershed.
Okay, I have a measuring tool, a show your location, rainflow path, network path. Don't see,
Actually, typically,
identify a study area.
click on Massachusetts, Amanda, up on the left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, scroll your page up, click on Mass. Okay, there you go. Now you gotta do the,
Delineate?
yep, delineate. Now you're gonna delineate at a point kind of close to the property. So find a point near Jim's property and then you'll delineate it.
Isn't this all his property?
Yeah, but go right about there, because that's
Yeah.
very close to his property. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so then what you're gonna have to do is,
It's delineating
yeah,
basin.
there you go. So what we'll do now is we'll get the area of the basin, and then you're gonna get the flow, and if the flow is below a certain value, then you're good.
Because I think that's,
Okay, now you need to get the statistics on that particular basin. Yeah,
This one?
yeah, you're all delineated. So I think you go to the next step now.
Continue, I guess.
Yep, there you go, good. Now you're doing the linear regression program for the flows.
Which one?
Okay, yeah, go to low flow statistics.
Okay.
we can't bring up the river GIS
No,
thing.
no, this is the way you do it. This
No.
is the way you do it.
Even, we don't look at the maps anymore.
This does the same thing, but it's more accurate. Okay, now, look at your report, now scroll down, Amanda, and you should have your 99th percentile flow somewhere. There it is, keep going. Keep going.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Drainage area is 0.31 square.
Well, that's
miles.
less than a half a square mile, so that should be, that's good in itself. But typically, they give you that 99th percentile low flow.
7 day, 2 years, 0.0698.
Mhm.
No, I'm pretty sure that pond has water all year round.
Well, I realize that.
That's coming out of that pond.
Read probability statistics?
Yeah, flow duration statistics. Yep, I think that's the one. Let's see if that has it.
It's the same thing.
No, there's some more down here.
Here we go.
Right.
Okay.
You said 99.04?
99%, yeah. Kevin, what is it, 0.01, 0.01? Is that the criterion?
I haven't followed
Okay.
the conversation.
Amanda, what you have to do is minimize that window if you would.
Yep.
And in fact, I can probably do that on my computer. Let me go to the code and look up the criterion. Hold on 1 second.
Well, I'd like to also look at a USGS map too, somehow. So what was the number we got, Amanda? 0.04?
36, yep. 0.0436.
Is it searchable?
I know exactly what it is. Okay, here it is. The stream has a watershed size of at least a half a square mile and has a predicted flow rate greater than or equal to 0.01 cubic feet per second at the 99th flow duration using the stream stat method.
And we got .04.
Well, so you meet that, but you don't meet the half square mile. So what's your watershed size?
0.31.
Okay, so it's intermittent.
Well,
It's intermittent.
I would think that's way too early making a decision.
All right,
I
okay.
want to see the USGS because I know that that's perennial behind Hatch.
The fact that you have water.
There's water there.
Water coming
doesn't mean
through.
it's not going out in the summer.
Right. But I've never seen that pond low.
I have.
Yeah, okay.
The pipe that crosses Lion Street,
Yep,
in other words, is basically above, so the water stays in that pond, it doesn't
Right.
flow across the road.
okay,
So my ditches have water in them, but it's not flowing.
okay. Is there any way to bring up the USGS?
I think,
Where is at the
I think
USGS?
Amanda has those on that machine.
Can't we, there's a wetlands layer we usually look at that tells perennial and not perennial.
Oh, I was gonna look that up, then I went to stream stats.
What the USGS map is simply going to show you, it's going to show you the dashed blue line and the solid blue line, which is the old-fashioned approach.
Right,
This is the new approach, which DEP is now promoting.
well, I think we should check
That's
all
fine.
different criteria.
That doesn't really give me much information.
Are you guys going to be videotaping every meeting going forward?
Probably, I don't make the decisions, I'm just the guy that does.
Well, I'm glad you come by, that's excellent.
No problem, no problem.
If it were live, it'd be even more fun.
Are we gonna maybe have to put this on temporary hold to move on to, or no, 7:15, we have administrative.
I'm gonna
duties.
interject, I'm gonna give you guys notice, you've got 2 minutes. 7:15's approaching.
Okay. I move then that we continue Mr. Naraki's discussion to a later date. Jim, can you hang around for an hour or so? Is that possible, so we can resolve this? Or you can come back next week.
Again, I've worked for Vincent Rocky and Chicopee under, as a land surveyor. I have not worked on this project in Granby, but I make a suggestion that he talk to Mr. Al Weiss and have him review this project, whether he needs to file an NOI or RDA.
Have you been in contact with Mr.
I
Weiss?
did, I was on the phone before I came here, and he said he did what needs to be done for what he felt was.
So, is he coming tonight?
No.
So he's not, yeah, like, I agree with Mr. Chapdelaine. I think it's, again, we're not in the business of doing all your engineering for you. We'll do some, but we're not gonna
Yeah,
do
no,
it
no,
all.
that's
But
what
yeah,
I meant.
yeah, Jim, I would, have Alan come in next time. I think that's.
Okay, so
that's
when is the
smart
next
move.
meeting?
Second Tuesday in April, whenever that is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And just so you know, it is coming up as stream based
That's
on the
okay, let's-
USGS rivers and streams.
7:14, are there anybody else here for building permits?
Do you have the measuring thing on there? No.
I'm also trying to take
Okay.
minutes.
All right, okay. All right. We told him to contact his wetland scientist
Yeah, I'm
to come
surprised,
in next meeting.
I'm surprised Mr. Weiss didn't attend tonight.
Okay, 7:15, administrative duties. Commentary. Anyone have any commentary to?
No, glad to welcome Granby Community Access TV to our venue here at the commission, and hope to see you folks many times in the future.
Commentary noted. Let's post the next meeting for April 9th, 2018, please.
That's April 10th, 7 p.m.
9th.
April 9th.
April 9th is what it's posted here.
I wanna say the night this Monday.
If that's correct, then this is an error. Let's check the calendar.
Yep, the 10th is a Tuesday.
Okay, so whoever typed this out at April 9th, 2018, correct it to
The 10th.
the 10th. Is there any reason why it was on the 9th posted here?
Mistake,
Okay.
apparent.
Noted. April 10th, 2018, 7 p.m. All set, Amanda?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the minutes for March 20th, 2018.
March 20th. I don't know if I have that.
Bill, did you put those on the flash drive, the meetings?
Well, I had accidentally deleted, or somehow deleted.
Yeah, I
stuff.
think if you go to the cloud, Amanda, you can probably grab them off the cloud.
Okay.
Yeah, they kind of got deleted off the flash drive.
Yeah. Oh, no, just kidding, they're right here. I have another set.
You got 'em?
But she did recover them promptly. They got recovered.
Yeah, I
Curveballs.
just, when I copied them, they somehow
At
just.
that meeting, March 20th, who was in attendance?
You, Bill, and me.
So we had 3.
Yep.
Amanda, Ed, and myself.
Yep.
Right. At that point, at this point, we didn't have a quorum.
Correct, correct,
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, it's 6 members that
correct,
are still listed.
correct.
Will has formally resigned.
Yes,
Okay, then make a note for Kathy to remove his name from the agenda as Wilmot Lewis Chair
and the website.
and the website, and have her just put me down as vice chair at this point still.
Should I just put that in commentary?
Sure, that'd be great.
When are we supposed to have elections?
We never had,
July.
yeah,
Usually it's July.
Okay, all right.
we'll have them before then, I think we need to have them before then.
That's on the minutes for this
Yes, this week, not last week's,
Thank
or
you.
not last meeting's.
Thank
So, remove Will's name from the agenda
agenda
and the website.
and website.
I don't even think they put me on the website yet. Because people have looked into it and
Yeah.
I'm not even, yeah.
You can add your name to the website.
Okay.
Back to the minutes of last week. Did you blow that up? Can you guys see that?
No.
Sorry, I'm still trying to get used to this computer. Don't actually know how to make it any bigger.
Go back to the other screen.
It's under view usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zoom made it all the way to the bottom
Oh.
on the column, there you go. Yeah, 150 is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scroll down, please.
So could you approve stuff with not a quorum?
The building permits were pretty straightforward.
Okay.
There was no,
I just
there was a
didn't know if
swimming
you
pool
could-
on top of a grass, existing
Yeah.
grass.
But I just didn't know if you could approve stuff if you don't have a quorum.
No,
Okay.
no, we couldn't do public hearings.
Okay. Oh, all right, like in the NOI, but,
Anything that was advertised, we couldn't do as far as
Okay.
public hearings. NOIs, RDAs.
I think there's a pending issue regarding the number of members on the commission. I think the four of us agree there's probably 6 at this time officially. Is that?
That's my understanding.
Yeah. I think the town manager thinks there may only be 5 because Amanda's on medical leave.
You mean?
But there was no paperwork to
Let's
confirm
back
that.
up on that. Let's just have either the city manager or the selectmen give us the number
Okay.
officially in writing.
Okay, but I think until we can confirm that in an official capacity, I think it's conservative for us to presume there's 6 members, which means we need 4 for quorum.
Which we have
So
right
tonight
this
we
time.
have quorum. Okay, thank you.
I don't see any issues. It looks pretty straightforward. Anybody have any comments on that?
Could you scroll back up, Amanda, please?
To which? Keep going.
Okay, so the NOI, the Mike Pio NOI that was continued.
Well, we had no choice.
Well, I
There's
realize
no
that, yeah.
quorum.
But it should say continued in the minutes. We should say
Yeah, it says continue.
continued until tonight.
Until,
What is it?
3/27.
Yeah, 27 March, okay.
okay. So, good.
Let's just scroll down, let's make sure we cover all our bases here.
And should we make a note that we had asked them to send us their questions?
No, just say that
No.
we're essentially continuing that discussion until tonight.
Okay.
And then again, now, tonight we can speak because we do have quorum. And they're on at 7:30, which is, what time is it now? 22 after?
Yep.
In the town report, Amanda, you sent that to Kathy as a
Yes.
DOC file? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, you guys good with that, Ed?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, I move we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to bills to pay, I just went through the folders, and I do not have any bills or statements. Financial accounts. I have received a financial statement dated 3/5/2018. You guys want to take a look at it? You want to look at it? We'll insert it into the binder and is that binder still here?
Order of the training.
The white binder?
Yes.
1180.
You have the 3-line punch still?
Oh, it says
Or that
advertising.
I'm missing.
No, the advertising is that number.
All right.
General
General
expense.
Thanks. How are we doing this? The newest first?
I don't actually know. Just did all that.
Okay. Nope.
We'll have to ask Kathy what that number is there.
That is the first financial report of the year.
So can we send a note to Kathy to find out what the 1185 is? General expense, if that was MACC or what?
Sure. If you could ask Kathy to disseminate what that 1185 debit from the general expense funds
Should I put that in
From the
the
hatch.
minutes?
Yeah, that's fine. Requesting, under the, financial updates,
Okay.
what the $1,185 is for.
Just want to say you're requesting.
Yeah. Wendy, you think it's MACC
Yeah, for the three of
for the
us?
conference?
Yeah, but that sounds expensive.
118.
I thought it was usually like $100 or something.
Yeah, so I don't know what that is, so that's why.
You
I'm
said
sorry.
1183?
Oh, no, 1,185,
185?
yeah, thank you.
185.
Do have one here.
You might need a new binder.
I think we gotta get a bigger binder.
I don't know if there's anything else that's weird.
I think that's wrong. I've got January's report, and that looks like a running total deduction, because in January it was $1,115.
Oh, so there's 380 that came out this
And
month.
then nothing came out. They're saying nothing came out, and it's
Yeah, it says
1185.
expended 380 up here.
Yeah, that's
So maybe-
probably the cost for the conference.
Could be, so.
Kathy will let us know what that is. It's, thank you. So that. 3 minutes left.
Okay, plan to the weekend, outreach, any,
I do not have anything on that.
going to any workshops, Amanda or Linda? Nothing coming up?
I just did the plant conservation volunteer training,
Oh, good.
and Vermont has 32 crataegus, which are the hawthorns. And it's interesting, the plants, the distribution of plants has to do whether it was the Connecticut River Valley or the Champlain Valley, because that affected the distribution of
Really?
the plants. So there's a lot of weird plants along Lake Champlain that got transported during the Ice Age.
Oh, due to glacial activity.
Yeah.
Neat, neat. Well, my plant of the week's multiflora rose, because I was cutting it yesterday, got a few ticks on me, and it cut up my arms pretty good.
Yeah, I'm thinking ticks are out again.
But if you want to cut up the multiflora, now's the time to do it.
Take your garlic.
Oh, yeah, yep. And of course, try to dig up the roots best you can. Good luck.
We got lots of correspondence.
It's not a,
We got ZBA stuff, Ed?
we're coming up on 7:28.
Okay.
Let's run through one or two correspondence real quick.
Okay.
Looks like I have an email from Mr. David Follis, Mass DEP, to Mr. Collette and Mr. Frederick. This is probably in regards to Cold Hill, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And this is dated February 26th, 2018.
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Collette wants to,
Amend his NOI.
yes,
All right, we'll look at that. It's not the 98 Cold Hill, is it?
yes.
It is. Okay, we'll talk about that when that comes up.
Okay.
So we'll put that for 98 Cold Hill. I have another letter here from Mr. Lenart regarding the Forge Pond Dam and dike. We could talk about that when we come up to the,
7:35.
yeah, Forge Pond issues. Again, another correspondent from Mr. Lenart regarding the Forge Pond Dam.
Mr. Lamar and who else?
Sorry.
How do you spell Lamar?
Lenart, Lenart. He's a professional engineer.
And who was the other person from the previous?
Previous one was 98 Cold Hill, Mr.,
No, the other person about the Forge Pond Dam. Were there two?
oh, I think it was Kathy. It was an email to Kathy Leonard,
Oh, okay.
Okay,
which it's basically from Casey to Kathy, Casey Collins, but Casey was getting emails from Mr. Leonard. She forwards them to Kathy, and then she
Gotcha.
forwards them to us.
It's 7:30, Chair.
7:30.
Great.
Excuse me. 7:30, discussion, Granby Belchertown Concerned Citizens Group at 7:30. Is there anybody here for that?
There's nobody from the citizens group tonight?
Regarding the Chicopee, not the Chicopee, the Granby
Granby Bow and
Bow
Gun.
and, is it Granby Bow and Gun?
Well, we'll give them their 5 minutes. We'll sit here for 5 minutes.
Well, that's happening. I'm going to continue on with the correspondence. Correspondence and ZBAs and all that other good stuff. Another email here from Mr. David Follis from Mass DEP. Again, this, I believe, is a response to this might be the water, the 401 clean water for, I believe, Phase 2, Munsing Ridge.
Oh, yes, the 401 that they have to clean
Yeah.
up from the previous development.
Again, that'll be
Yes.
discussed when that comes up with,
Mike Pio's project.
I don't know what this is doing here. This is the group registration for the MACC, which occurred, what, in March?
Yeah,
Early
recycle
March.
bin. Right in the
Kathy
recycle.
doesn't need this? Okay. I'll let Kathy take care of it. This is a correspondence from Chris Volante. I'm guessing this is in regards to the solar panels off of Chicopee Street.
Okay.
We'll deal with that when that comes up, that action.
When is that one from? He
That's-
emailed me back recently, so I'm curious.
January 5th, 2018. Again, I gotta talk to Kathy, these invoices, she's gotta clean this folder out. This is an invoice from Ty and Bond, which has been paid.
So did you say
That can be
January 13th?
filed, maybe? Maybe we can just file that?
Yeah, we could probably file
Did we
some.
pay all?
Yeah.
They
I
paid,
spoke with the engineer at Ty and Bond, and she did relay to me that they are, we
fully
are
paid?
current and fully paid.
Oh,
They are
okay.
fully paid, so we don't
Okay.
have.
Okay, good.
at
So maybe
this-
we should just write on there paid and per your discussion with them or something.
There's
Please
the-
file,
Yeah,
please file.
that's fine.
When was the Chris Valente email from? You said January something.
Oh, for Mr. Volante?
It's Miss. This is
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Miss. January 5th, 2018.
5th. Okay.
Worry about ticks calling them.
Thanks for listening to going through it. I'll just put
Raspberries.
the people and the date.
I was the same way yesterday. I had Promethean sprayed all over me. I still think I'm in the house and I had them all.
This correspondence has been read into the minutes before. It's concerning 98 Cold Hill, complaint filed. And will be dealt
So we
with.
need to file that.
Well, that will be discussed
All right.
when that comes up on 98 Cold Hill. They have a amended forest cutting plan. For 156 Burnett Street. It's an amendment, so
Who's the property owner?
they have as Pauline Symasco, Symasko,
One more time.
It's where Patty Castle Lane is.
Symasko,
Cut through the street.
Symasco,
Okay.
156 Burnett Street.
Mr. Chairman at 7:35.
Sure. Anybody wants to look at that? All right, 7:35.
So we're gonna continue that until next meeting, the Belchertown, Granby Belchertown Conservancy
That's fine.
Group.
If, yeah, I mean, if they're not here next meeting, I'm just gonna take them off the agenda. They'll come in whenever they're ready.
Yeah,
I asked them to get some questions typed up, and I haven't seen them yet, so.
yeah. They said they were all set. I emailed them. asked
Okay,
them.
that's fine. So am I taking that as that their
I don't know, because
questions have been answered?
I'm not.
Well, I
It
had
was
the
very
answer to the
vague.
question right here. There's the answer.
Understood. So should we just take them off?
Kathy, they'll contact Kathy if they want to get an appointment with us, and we'll do the same
Yeah.
thing as
Yeah,
we
that's
did this
fine.
time, yeah. I recommend, let's go to 7:35 discussion, Forge Pond.
I'm gonna jump out of order here. We have Fugler
Yes.
at 7:30.
What would you like to know?
Come on up, introduce
Let's do
yourself
it, let's do it.
for the camera. And
Face
Give us
the
an-
camera.
give us an update
It's
on the,
impolite not to face the camera.
give us an update, please, on the project.
Hey, I talked to Bill today to notify he and the commission that would like to start excavating on this Thursday.
Silt fence is installed, ready to go.
Yeah, and I talked to the Richards, talked to Keith. He didn't have a problem.
Can you
Okay.
say this Thursday? This Thursday?
Yes, he
Or what
wants
Thursday?
this Thursday.
This, okay. I just want to be
Yeah,
accurate.
this is what we got from the conservation, they wanted us to start by the first of April.
Okay, so did you want to go, does anybody here want to go inspect the silt fence?
I can go tomorrow.
Is that okay? if-
Tomorrow's my day off. Anytime.
Is Mr.
Early.
Fugler available?
Now, did we decide we needed somebody to observe?
We had discussed that, yes.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Keith indicated that, you said that.
So do we want to do an internal observer or a third-party outside observer?
I cannot do it,
I will be in Vermont with my husband.
and so that leaves Amanda with really the only one, or Bill. And could we don't have those, the order of conditions available, do we?
Not on my person right now.
Do you have the order of conditions available?
I have a last letter,
And have they been recorded?
Yeah, they had some very specific tasks and orders of construction.
Pull up the special conditions, I think, on that. We should have that.
yeah,
Well, I don't
Because
know if I
all the
have
other
it
stuff
on
is
my
standard.
computer.
Oh, okay.
What is this?
that's a letter signed by Eddie,
Yeah, that's asking.
based on comments, his comments and the commission's comments.
That's not the order of conditions.
No.
No, I was just asking the order of conditions.
Well, it's gotta be in the drawer.
Well, I understand, I can,
I don't believe there was an order submitted.
is this an enforcement? This is
Well,
an
that's right, this is an enforcement order. Well,
That's right.
let me just paraphrase these bullet points then. Proposed plants shall be loaded of native cultivars, so they'll adapt to the climate. Proposed planting shall be inspected and approved by the commission or an elected agent and Many Springs Farms before planting is to commence. So we'll discuss that. Seed mix shall be New England erosion control or reasonable facsimile. The red maple and winter plantings are approved. Add a specification of the set to include water bags around the red maple so it doesn't dry out. 2 red osier dogwood shrubs. Get those. Add plugs of herbaceous in accordance with a species list presented on November 13th by Dr. Roth in the representative wetland after consultation with a reputable firm to get recommendations for planting density, appropriate for the size and the site. Have you done that?
No, we'll do that once we excavate.
Okay.
But I think the question, Bill, though, wasn't,
Well, we have the other thing, the pit and mound topography, which I know is gonna be challenging to replicate.
Yeah, that's the start.
Yeah. Conscom shall be notified 48 hours. That's what you're doing today. Conservation, the commission or agent and Many Springs Farm environmental consultant shall determine if additional organic material needs to be added. Site visit by the commission or their appointed agent. You can do a site visit prior to construction. So that's what we have the opportunity to do now. Should organic material be needed, it shall conform to U.S. Army Corps' Wetland Restoration Manual and Inland Wetland Replication Guidelines. 12% organic mix by, doesn't say whether it's by weight or by volume, which could make a big difference there. So on and so forth. As stated in the 23 August letter to the commission, Many Springs shall monitor, or the area shall be monitored by a qualified wetland scientist for 2 growing seasons after the planting is complete. Annual report shall be submitted to the commission no later than November 15th. So the first one would be November 15th of this year,
Correct.
2018. The second would be November 15th, 2019. And then you have to have a 75% plant acceptance. And of course, not invasive material. Again, if you have multiflora or some Japanese knotweed or bittersweet, you got to get rid of that. In addition, a report shall be submitted to the commission at the completion of construction to include a log, photo log, and description of the restoration area. Then you're required to do an as-built, as-built drawing 6 months after the completion of construction.
I thought we specified some more information about the wetland mix.
Well, you can read it.
no, we did that at the meeting.
Yeah,
We pulled it up at the
I didn't
meeting.
read it, so.
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay.
The commission reserves the right to enter the property at any time. Restoration shall commence no later than April 1, and it shall be completed by June 1, status report on June 12. Okay.
So do we have anybody who can go out there and observe? I will not be in the state. That's.
Oh, that's yours, that's yours,
it.
Kelly.
Don't listen.
Amanda, you're gonna be about?
When? Because, I mean,
At your-
I
at your-
work full-time
Oh, you
too,
work, okay.
so, I mean, tomorrow's my day off, so that's why I can definitely go, like, check out the silt fence and
What
everything.
about early afternoon tomorrow?
Okay,
I'm just thinking, who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like Friday and Friday what happened, but
yeah,
it's supposed to clear off the second half of the day.
yeah, okay.
We're supposed to get rain tonight.
Yeah. Snow, whatever.
Well,
Salamander
If we
migration.
take this a step at a time, inspect the silt fence. He starts his work. Before you start putting any seed mix down, take another look at it, make sure we got some good soils.
So 1 o'clock tomorrow?
1 o'clock? Yep,
At East Street?
sounds good.
Okay.
So inspect
I
the,
might be able to go out there too tomorrow.
Okay. Should I meet on the Fueler side? Like, just
Yes.
go up into
Fueler
the
side,
back to
yes.
make it easy? Okay.
Yeah. That's the easy side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this matter is closed?
Well,
I believe so. Let's-
so he's gonna start excavating, so I might be able to go out there Saturday and check it. Because you're actually starting to remove materials, Kevin?
That's the plan,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay. All right.
All right, so
They'll probably be stockpiled on
we have,
Fueler side.
yeah, and what are we doing with the material afterwards? Is it leaving the site, or is it being?
Or be used on the site, you know.
On his own
depending on the
property.
type of material.
I'm gonna recycle some of that material.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mrs. Richards, any questions?
So, you know, is there an oversight as to the quality of the work that's being done? If you say, I'm gonna take out the dirt and I'm gonna put new fill in, or clean fill, how do you know that it's been cleaned? How do you know it's clean?
Well, we're gonna inspect it as we go, I guess.
You will have an inspection as you go, this is our
Well-
major concern is that, you know,
Does the commission want to hire somebody? Or do we want to do it at task at a time? Because what's gonna happen, Kevin, is that if it's not a successful project, you're gonna do it all over.
Mm-hmm.
So penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah, I
So
understand. I mean.
nobody wants to do it twice, even though Mr. Fugler's doing it on probably his dime and his equipment, but as long as it gets done correctly. 'Cause I don't think anybody wants to do it twice.
Like, Amanda, what's your work schedule these days?
I usually work at 10, so I could always do before. It's just I generally work until almost 7, so it's dark by the time I get out.
Yeah,
But I could always do a morning, any morning, because the earliest I have work is
I
10.
might have time.
Well,
Sometime
let's
on Friday,
start
stop
at
by.
1 o'clock tomorrow and then.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, all right,
And then,
all right.
Because I have tomorrow off, so it's, yeah,
Yeah.
1 o'clock
What,
is
is he plan working like Thursday, Friday, not weekend, or is he gonna work through the weekend? You know, what the
I
schedule?
haven't discussed that with him.
Okay,
He's,
So, through the phases, as we progress through this project, either by email or telephone conversation with either Amanda, Bill, or myself, or Wenda, just let us know each phase as you approach each critical mark,
yep,
and we can inspect it as we go. And if it gets to a point where, as the commission, we don't feel we can handle this anymore, we will, what's that invoke, Bill? The
Rule of necessity.
rule of necessity.
so I wonder
And
if we
then-
should contact
Patty.
some,
Well, Patty, if we need, we can call Patty Castellan if she can.
No, we're talking about if the inspection becomes questionable.
Oh, yeah.
We
if we
are,
need somebody out
Oh,
there.
we have to we'll have to hire a consultant.
right.
If that's under 4453G, the consultant, hiring,
But I'm just
Statute.
saying, if this becomes a problem with the commission, and we can invoke that rule at that point.
yeah.
But we'll do
yeah,
it best.
if it's too burdensome for the commission to execute, that's right, because again, we all work. We all work during the day.
I'm gone by 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, I get home at 5. So, unless, so,
That's why I'm
You know,
wondering.
I'm confident we can do it internally, but if we're really strapped for time. we'll
like Bill says, if it's a burden,
Yeah.
becomes a burden on the commission, we
Yeah,
are gonna invoke
I
that
understand.
rule. So, we're all set, Mrs.
But
Richard?
as long as there's some oversight by the commission as the project.
If it's not satisfactory, right.
And begins it, I mean, that's really just an end.
If it's not satisfactory, then they're gonna end up doing it twice.
Yeah,
And nobody wants to do it twice, I don't think,
I hope not,
so,
That's true.
yeah. Okay.
thank you. So we're all set with you, Kevin, on Fugler's?
And Fugler's,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, next project. We got the RDA at Bissett.
7:30. This is for Jeffrey Brissett?
Yeah,
Okay.
117
Let me get that stuff
Amber Street.
available.
Ed, you should read the intro
Yeah, I will,
paragraph.
I will. Let me put this aside, I'm just getting everything set up. At 7:30, an RDA filed by Jeffrey Bassett to see whether the work depicted on plans referenced is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act with regards to proposed repair work on an existing septic system that is over 80 plus or minus feet from a resource area located at 117 Amherst Street, and known as map 2B-14 in the town of Granby. I have the advertisement here. Basically, it is the same as what I just read. It was in the town reminder, March 16th, 2018. We have, you are the applicant's representative at this time.
I am.
You would like to present the project to the commission, please?
I've given you 2 sets of plans, I believe.
Sure, I'll pull those out.
The site
Amanda's gonna call it up on the computer too.
Yeah.
site is the hillside site. The resource area at the bottom of the hill is Pitchlong Swamp. Essentially what we're doing is putting it back in the same footprint as the original.
So it's a septic?
Septic repair.
Just a repair. Pretty straightforward.
Are you keeping the tank or new tank?
I believe it's a new tank. Yeah, new 1,500 gallon, 2-compartment tank.
Okay.
And there's going to be, it's not just leach fields. We have a number of chambers. Therefore, 48 chambers times 4 feet per chamber will be installed in 6, if you will, trenches.
Is this a Presby?
No, it looks like an infiltrator, but the thing is, he can't move the system any further from the wetland, because you've got 2 wells that you're gonna encroach on, yes, so there's not much you can do there.
You're locked into this site.
Yeah, yeah.
Sedimentation barrier will be established down slope of the work area.
What's the slope?
Steep,
Steep.
see it on the, below is 77, where the tank is 91.
It's like a 30-foot drop, just about.
Yeah, a big drop.
Wow. Is that, these elevations on here? This is going down the hillside?
Yep. Well, that's the best representation is on the top one here.
Yeah, you can see it, first
Yeah.
cover.
Soil isn't the best there, it's bad, really bad soil.
See, 77's here,
Yeah.
Okay.
bottom. This is the tank, it's 91, so it's, you know, pretty,
So are they filling it up to make it level?
No.
Before they put it in? So this septic is on a
Ste-
hillside?
It's stepped.
staggered,
Step,
yeah.
okay,
You can see the profile right here. It drops in elevation.
okay.
Yeah, that's what that shows.
Is it staked out?
Yeah, what they did is they uncovered some of the old ones, like, okay, there it is.
Silt fence up yet?
No, not as of today.
You,
I believe Emerson is doing the work.
okay.
That's what I understand.
You guys want to do a site visit on that, or are we all set, or
We've given you a fee for the
site visit?
So we should go
Yeah, if
out
someone
there.
wants to go out, sure. You wanna go out, Wendell?
I could try, yes. Maybe, I don't know, there's some way, Amanda and I could possibly do both on the same day. Tomorrow morning or
Fuelers?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The house is not occupied at this point, it's for sale. And
So do we have permission to go on the property?
Yes.
Okay.
Who's the current owner?
It's the.
Bassett?
Yeah, and Jeff Bassett, who is the executor of the estate.
Okay.
And if I head up to Amherst to Atkins, that I usually do for lunch, maybe I'll just
Right
stop,
there,
yeah, I'll
yeah.
stop on the way up there.
So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out, it's on Amherst Street?
Zoom out on
It's
that.
near Amy's house.
I don't know
It's
why
kinda
it's
near
highlighted
Amy's
and it won't unhighlight.
You gotta click the info tab, see the eye up top? There, I'll click another parcel.
Yeah, you see Grandview
I've just
there?
never had that happen before.
Yeah, it'll just,
Oh, it's near the carrot farm?
Yeah, it says.
No, it's
test.
up on Amherst. See, this is Grandview here,
Grandview, yep.
and the site is over here.
It's just north
Just
of West
down-
Street
Yeah,
and south of Grandview.
right.
What's the main road there, West Street?
West, Amherst,
Yeah,
Grandview.
this is Amherst Street. You know, west is down here. That's the road to Amherst.
Okay. All right, do we have an address?
Yeah, 117.
117. So, nothing's really staked out per se.
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe we should wait until it's staked out.
Yeah, I can let you know when he's
That-
got the silt fence up.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah, then we'll do a
That's-
site visit.
I encouraged, I saw Greg last week, and he said, anytime I put the silt fence up, do it.
Sure,
And
that
I
would
don't-
save us a trip.
Yeah, I don't think he got there.
We can, so you wanna?
I'll come back at you and say, hey, it's up.
I mean, it's not a big deal. If you guys wanna go look at it ahead of time, that's fine. Wait till the silt fence is up, that's fine.
Well, if it's supposed to pour tomorrow morning, it might not be.
Yeah, you don't want to do it tomorrow morning, probably. It may be white sun, white rain.
Right, right.
So we're gonna continue this?
Yes.
Yeah, I move we continue it till the 10th of April.
We have, Kevin, we have permission to continue the meeting?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely, we want it approved.
thank you. So the meeting is continued to April 10th.
What time?
Well, what time do we have available?
On April 10th.
How about 7:35?
7:35 is fine.
Very good time. Okay, I think we have another discussion point that will involve Mr. Brooks, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
Forge Pond Dam. Amanda very knowledgeably dug up some state data on the Forge Pond Dam situation. Amanda, if you'd brief us on your findings once again for the record.
So we are in like the 95th percentile for a ecologically beneficial dam. And removal of it would be good for cold water stream habitats and stuff. And it's the dam that needs to get repaired, so it would be a good one to get funding for because it,
So the fact that we have a red
So-
dot and we're in that percentile
Yes.
means we're likely to get funded.
yes.
To repair it or take it out?
To take it down.
Take it out, take it
Yes. Because this project is about removing old outdated dams.
Okay.
And I downloaded the manual for how to go through and evaluate all the.
We still need to have an
potential
engineering
stuff.
study done.
Oh, yeah, that's part of it as well. But, basically you can get funding, to do the original studies, or like the initial studies, and then you can get funding for the actual, work done.
To decommission the dam.
Yes.
Because again, to bring that dam up to code is probably going to cost on the order of $500,000 of taxpayer money, and we're not exactly floating in dough in Granby.
I think it'd be more than $500,000.
Well, conservatively, well, aggressively, if you will. But I would think that taking it out would be considerably less than that, probably on the order of $250,000, and you just do it once and that would be it.
You know, this is something we'd have to talk with.
Oh, yeah, yeah. In
Yeah,
fact, I
it's
talked to
gonna be a
Kathy. I think we should, if we do agree to at least consider moving forward with this approach, we should meet with the select board in their
Yes.
venue and discuss it with them.
How many actual properties are on that lake?
Or on this lake. I'm not sure if it actually tells me.
Properties, people have houses on that.
No, I know, but I can't, this isn't
We,
Mass GIS.
We purchased the perimeter from
Partika,
Artico.
yes.
Supposedly, we owned Forge Pond, but we owned the immediate watershed around it, the 10, or, 100 feet around it or something like that.
Okay.
And that was owned by the Friars, and when he purchased the property, he got that with it.
Now, the dam and the spillway area, that was donated to the town by Frank Falk back in, I think 78, 79.
Sure.
So that's why the town.
Oh,
went in there.
we inherited the dam we received it as a gift, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the town went in, highway department, took the dam right down to the big log that they used for leveling,
Yeah.
and built it back up. And then we built the stop blocks from it. Charlie Reed was the engineer on the site. He worked for Dan O'Connell for many years.
How long ago was that? That was in the 80s?
That was like in 78, 79.
Okay. So that's really the last time the dam has been really worked on with any
Yes.
effort
Yes.
to maintain it. Okay. We've authorized, well, Mr. Leonard's been authorized to prepare the, phase one, which is the update.
Well, the phase one are the preliminary studies.
Reviews.
Reviews, which are ongoing, and I think we've been extending the permit window every 6 months to the tune of about $500.
Right.
And of course, the phase two is the
Fully engineered.
the comprehensive study, and then you go into remedial design. And again, that's just gonna push things out, and the money just keeps going up and up and up. So if we kind of divert into the decommission mode, I think we're gonna save the town a pile of money going forward. But again, that's gonna be discussed with the townspeople and the select board. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will,
So that's what I suggest we do, is set up a meeting with the select board to.
because if you really
discuss
wanted to
that.
keep that pond, it has to be dredged, I think. It's
Well,
pretty.
that too.
it's-
Well, that's the other thing. Lou Barry and I were out there on a boat a few years ago, and my recollection is the average depth sounding in that pond was between 2.5 and 3.5 feet.
Right, so you can step out.
Oh, yeah. And again, in the summer, that water is very, very, very warm.
Stagnant.
Very warm. So I think, at least we should entertain decommissioning, and, like Amanda says, if we can get a state grant to assist, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. There are a lot of ones that are focused towards ecological, like restoration, resilience, so obviously preventing outwashes and the road getting destroyed, structure getting damaged and constantly repaired.
And realistically, the Quenneville pond system did the exact same thing about 3 or 4 years
Well,
ago,
unfortunately, the dam is still there.
accidentally. Well, the dam is there, but it's essentially bypassed, and the pond has now turned into a beautiful wetland with a lot of diversity of flora and fauna. So maybe the same thing will end up happening to Forge Pond. And my thought is, if we're gonna spend money on a dam, we may as well spend the money on the Dufresne's project, because Dufresne's is a
That-
widely used recreational
Sure.
facility. Forge Pond being a beautiful facility, it's still not widely used by a lot of people. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know how many people use the boat ramp there.
At Forge.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot.
Not, seeing it's only 2 or 3 feet deep at this point.
So,
Whenever you go by, you might see 3, 4 cars.
it's not like Dufresne's, it's not like Dufresne's on the weekend then, okay. So do you guys think it might be prudent to go before the select board to at least discuss this?
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it probably will have to be brought to town meeting, I would guess.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's town meeting stuff. Definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Start at the selectmen and work our way
Yeah.
to some resolution.
Yep, thank you, Kevin, for the input as well.
I would comment to say that when the state came and inspected, that we did get a grant. I'm doing this from memory now, $80,000 for a diagnostic study in the area. And that report's still available,
Okay.
but, it dates back to 1979.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of copies, yep.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, yeah.
Thank you.
What's this,
It's like a book.
The diagnostic and feasibility is done by Bay State Environmental.
Yeah,
Ken.
I brought it up before.
we'll ask, quick question, don't want to take too much of your time. New Ludlow Road?
I can see piles through the woods that are just in the open field there, not far from the wetlands.
I hear you. Supposedly he was gonna do some burning,
Okay,
but I haven't gone back and checked.
okay. You can see them through the cleared trees, I think. I'm sure it's within 100 feet of that
That
well.
pond.
Yeah, okay,
Yes, that was brought to his attention.
okay, all right, okay. Just want to double check since you were representative.
Okay, thanks, thanks, Kevin.
Yeah.
7:45, we're running behind
Yep.
schedule, 8:03.
Munson Ridge.
7:45, I have a continuation of a notice of intent filed by Mike P.O. PC Development LLC for proposed construction of a residential subdivision and associated stormwater management structures. The roadway will require a wetland fill and open channel crossing with regards to property located on Carver Street and known as map 16B 15.4 and 16 in the town of Granby. I don't have any, Mr. P.O. or his representative is not here tonight, I'm guessing. Right, you're not here for, okay.
Yeah, we'll table that.
So we'll continue that to
10 April.
April 10th. And maybe we could have Mr. Frederick come in and just give us an update, I think. Just quick cliff notes on what's going on,
Yep, that's good.
see how they're progressing.
Who should contact him?
Shoot me an email, I'll give him a call,
Okay.
see if he wants to come. If he doesn't want to come in, if there's nothing new, then there's nothing new. But we really should
Maybe-
have them give us a letter at this point, saying that continue the meeting.
Okay.
Okay. So, moving on to the 7:30 appointments, I have got a continued Kestrel Trust, 307 Chicopee Street. Amanda, you're really working on that?
I haven't heard from her. I emailed her again. Last I heard, everything had been surveyed that first week when I went out with her, and she has not wanted to share the information of the
So we're
survey
back.
until she shared it with the landowner.
Sure.
So I have not heard back from her yet regarding.
So we're back where we, from
Yeah,
what
but
you
she
were
said I
saying.
can go out whenever, so I might go out tomorrow since it is not going to be
Okay.
snowing for once.
Nobody's here for that Kestrel Trust, 307 Chicopee? I have a continued certification of compliance for Children's First on Pleasant Street. Again, the same situation. They haven't gone through a growing season, so I don't know how we can issue a certificate of compliance.
Continued.
Continue it till they,
You know, it might be prudent for us to do a site visit, because I think Casey's the last one to do a site visit there.
No,
When
me and
did-
Amy were there.
yeah, you guys, yeah.
Did you, okay.
They hadn't really done much since the cold weather started, and actually I know someone who works there. He said they were there almost every day up until the cold weather came in, and then they haven't really seen them much, but
Okay.
he thinks they'll probably be back soon.
Okay,
now
so
that
they're
it's getting-
pulling out the invasives by
They have
hand?
been, yeah, they're doing a
Good
lot.
luck to them.
Yeah. it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know why they filed that so early.
Yeah, we don't know.
Like you said, I think it had something to do with a bank loan or something, but they
Yeah.
didn't press us to sign a
You're a
partial.
partial, that's all you can do at this point.
Did we do the partial?
No.
All right, so that's
They
fine.
don't want the
All
partial.
right, so that's fine then. That's fine.
7:30, public hearings continue. 98 Cold Hill complaint. Are you here for 98 Cold Hill? Are you here for anything?
Yes, we are. We represent DCR,
Where?
Department of Conservation.
Oh, okay, DCR,
We own a piece of land at the end of Green Meadow Drive.
Green Meadow, okay.
And there's a little driveway that goes into back to the signal station there. And as part of the gift from the Air Force, we were left with the foundations and
Okay.
paving
We could talk about that in a second.
and it's more an informational thing. And
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
That'd be great. You guys want to discuss the 98 Cold Hill complaint?
Sure.
I have not been to the site.
I
To-
did drive by, and there's streets, I didn't know which side was which, because there's stuff going on both sides that look like they're through wetlands. So I was confused.
I thought I asked last time for Mr. Cody Collette to come in.
Yeah, I was on site last week. He's got it looks like an 18 or 24 inch temporary culvert to get to his home site. The foundation's in, the house has been set on the foundation. That's what I saw on the site.
And is that, when you're coming up from Amherst Street, is that on the right or the left?
Cold Hill.
Heading north, up toward the golf course, it's on the right. Heading south from Bittersweet is on the left.
So what's going on across the street then? Do we remember?
Absolutely
what that is?
nothing.
Okay, because there's
That
a
was
driveway
That
being
was a little
cut.
project that was approved a few years ago.
Okay, because there's recent activity there.
Yeah, that was an approved project.
It just looks very wetlandy, I don't remember.
So,
I'm also curious to see
All right.
how things are moving now that he's taken all those trees out and how the water is now moving across the
When
property.
I was at the site last week, I saw water flowing through the culvert, very narrow channels, flowing through the culvert successfully. Of course, the culvert he installed is not in compliance with the specification that we had approved with that bridge, and I think that's the reason Dave's gone to file this, is to seek an amendment, so he can get away from an 11-foot span and go down to something a little more cost-effective.
it's nothing before us.
Right. But again, he's working with DEP directly on this.
Does Mr. Collette, does he want to come in and discuss this?
I think he'd be willing to do so. I'll invite him in for next meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to keep it short too on that, because if he's going to be filing an amendment, if he can give us the timelines when he thinks he will be before us. So,
Did you get correspondence from Fowles on that? Yeah.
I
Was it an
did.
email? Maybe you can read that.
No, it's a lot of words.
Well,
in it.
just paraphrase it.
Were we doing any sort of enforcement, or was?
That's
Dave
the other
Ellis
question
doing
was whether that's an enforcement because of the cutting of the trees in the wetland. Without being permanent. That's that. That's the email from Follis.
I think I got a copy of this. Dave says, again, this is just Dave's office review. Dave says, it does not appear to be any wider than 2 feet. That is the channel at the site. It is fairly certain that it is not almost 11 feet in width. So Fowles is kind of siding with Colette on that,
That's fine.
which is fine.
Then have him file the amendment.
Yeah. So as there is a valid OOC, order of conditions, Mr. Colette's best option should he wish to proceed with plan changes, would be to seek an amended order of conditions per the amended orders policy. Such a plan change may meet the definition of relatively minor in nature, thus allowing the permittee to proceed with obtaining an amended order of conditions. Colette would need to request a plan change from engineer Frederick, and Mass DEP would recommend an enlarged site plan showing the crossing area in greater detail. So I guess the ball's in David's court at this point.
All right, so I'll ask him to come to our meeting next time, and we'll ask him what he's planning on doing, and whether or not we have to do an enforcement for the tree cutting, or if we can roll that into the amendment.
Okay.
So, that being said, I'm sorry, now we can go to you. If you want to introduce yourself and come up and
Come on up, folks.
grab a chair.
Yeah, grab a chair.
Good evening. I'm Rich Brazo. I'm the regional engineer for the Department of Conservation and Recreation.
I'm Jennifer Soper, same agency, I do land protection for the department.
Okay, if you could grab a microphone, that'd probably be handy too. Thank you.
So, several years ago, we were gifted this property. It was owned by the Air Force Base, had a signal station on it.
That's the old antenna farm.
Right.
Yes, from years ago. Sure.
And they took down the antennas in the buildings, but up the foundations, sidewalks, and,
Manholes,
Yeah.
septic.
and
They had
so
some environmental cleanup issues, didn't they, at one time?
they may have, they took care of it.
Which I think.
Although the septic and things are still in the site.
Yeah.
And so, we haven't done a lot there, except for fight the beavers, and there's 3 culverts in that driveway. And then, we had, four-wheel drive vehicles using it as a playground for a while, which we gated off and blocked off that, so I think people are happy about that, happen. But now we want to get in there and actually start and clean up the concrete, the septic fields, anything that was left over. There's a chain link fence that goes on the boundary, we'd like to take that out. The beavers have worked on those culverts to the point now that I'd like to do is go in the roadway and put in crushed stone, crushed stone just to support the culverts that are there, and put a plate over it so we can get trucks in and out and
Is
dig
it
stuff out.
intermittent stream?
No, it's a perennial stream, yeah.
Perennial stream in there, okay.
And the beavers have been working
so
that. We've
then
had beaver deceivers in there for 10 years, I think now.
Okay.
Was that Ingraham Brook or a feeder to Ingraham Brook?
That's the brook.
That is the brook,
And
yeah.
when the land was gifted to the department, the understanding was that we would work to naturalize the site because it's a sand plain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was told talking to the state botanist, I guess there's rare plants in there.
Is it
Oh, yeah.
sandpipers out there?
No, there's no ocean.
Just at the base?
There's a moth.
Just
there's a
at,
moth
just
and
at
there's
Westover?
Plant species. We have a report, if you guys are interested in that. I can give you a copy of
Yeah.
that.
There are actually sandpipers at Westover Air Force Base.
Oh, that's-
There's a cut in the yellow sand, and they actually bore into the sand. It's very unusual
Wow.
to have sandpipers in there.
Seagulls at the dump.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
So we have some limited funding now, and what I wanted to do is basically so the first phase would be to go and clean up the old site. Get the road so it's upgraded, but replace the gate that's there, because we have people going through that. And then, we've already talked to David Paulson from Endangered Species, and they're willing to go in, on the next phase, we go and take down a lot of the young pine trees that are coming there and return that to a field area. So that's kind of the overall plan, but what I would like to do, because we have limited funding to start now, is maybe just to get the road upgraded, and then if we can get the funding and the gate replaced, then as the funding would come, if I get, I think we could do it under an RDA, where it's a sand pit, basically, where it is. Silt fence the bottom of it. The closest really structure to the wetlands is the chain link fence.
Yeah,
And,
you just pull up.
yeah, we could just cut it off and pull the fence or wire out without really disturbing the ground surface. So that's kind of like what we're talking about doing.
So that actually crosses the river?
It crosses Ingham Brook.
Okay.
There's a triple culvert there system.
Does it
have
need to be
photos?
We
upgraded?
actually have some aerial photography
Let's
here
take a
if you
look at
want.
that real quick.
I'm just wondering if it needs to
Green
be
Meadow Drive.
upgraded, the crossing to a certain openness
So
ratio or what?
it's
With
about,
the stream crossing standards?
it's a 99-acre site, and here's Green Meadow, so 202's right down here.
Yeah.
And you can see on this aerial, you can see right smack in the middle is where the hardscaping is still there. And this is Ingram Brook. Right here, Green Meadow. When we got this parcel, it comes with this little notch in here. This is the approximate location of the gate. This is where those culverts exist. Long driveway to all this hardscape
Wow,
that we would
wow.
like to take out and basically naturalize this. The war would then be on the pines, so that
Yeah.
you
It's
turn-
funny, that's not visible at all from any ground location.
Spy cam.
Yeah, yeah.
What was kind of interesting is a couple of weeks ago, our DCR ecologist and natural heritage folks were out, and they found over here, they took a GPS point, so it's like over here. There's this structure, I haven't seen it yet, I gotta get out there, and they're calling it the phone pole house. It's like this little cabin thing made out of phone poles.
Wow.
So now that's something else we gotta take out too.
Interesting. It'd be some new antenna that they're working on. Now, are you gonna use your own workforce or hire it out to the,
We have Lane Construction.
okay, Lane's gonna do it? Okay, okay,
And
good.
I run the Western Mass paving contract.
Oh, good, okay, good, good.
So your immediate necessity is to get this
Get the
hardscape,
hard stuff out, naturalize the site.
and then in the future, yeah, that'll be naturalized, but eventually you're gonna wanna replace the culverts with something that's more appropriate for the site.
under discussion at this point.
For the purposes of getting the construction equipment in here to remove these the foundations, we'd have to put some sort of steel plates, steel
Right,
beams
to
over
support
here
it.
Yeah.
to support the equipment that would be coming in.
Right.
I'm
So there's no activity.
I'm a layperson when engineering's concerned. I'm calling it the culvert Band-Aid. So that's what we would do, hopefully to be able to just to tide us over to get this stuff out and then come to a permanent solution.
What's the long-term goal for this property?
To restore it, to keep it to try to bring it back as best we can to a sand plain ecosystem.
It's like unofficial ecological
It's for the
restoration
birds.
project. Yeah,
It's
good.
for the
We
birds.
got
That's
this,
good,
we
that's
got this
good.
property
Very nice.
for the ecological
Yep.
resources involved.
Yep.
And we hope to make about, what, 10 to 14 spaced,
For walking trails.
perpendicular
A little
parking.
parking there before the
Not
gates, so people
paved.
can park.
So the gate, you're gonna
Replace
put a new
that
gate
gate.
there.
Yeah,
Because that gate stayed pretty good for quite a while.
But
Yeah.
it's easy, it's easy.
Probably when the
to,
military was there, they kept it up
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, when there was activity there, but now.
Nobody's there.
We had the kids going in there with the trucks pulling on it and stuff and bent it all
So eventually this is gonna be just for
Where's that
walking.
site?
up. Yeah, it'll be,
Not-
it'll be,
not for big
yeah,
vehicles.
and so, you know, so the concept of, well, do we rip, if those culverts, by packing some crushed stone around the outside, we can
Green
maintain that,
Meadows
just so that we
here.
can get
So it's right out.
equipment in there, and maybe later, a mowing machine, once a year, maybe if we can mow it, or if there's an ambulance or something like that, or a fire truck, might have to get back in there,
Right.
they could get across it.
Right.
But I guess we're still in discussions about whether we want to rip those three culverts out and put a big open bottom box culvert in there.
Yeah,
And then we're talking a lot of money to do that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So, I mean, if we had a regular bunch of people going in there where we had visitors going in, and
But that's not.
that's not,
Well, you have, is there access over here?
that's how,
Show
that's,
them where that Lyman gate is. So
Yeah.
here, this is Lyman, right?
this cornfield here, we had a right of way in here, and the car, and those guys with the four-wheel drive trucks were coming in here.
Yeah.
And, so I put a gate in right here.
Oh, good. Pretty good.
Yeah, and then I followed all their ATV trails and stuff for the woods and put
Green
boulders
Meadow.
where they could get, and it's we've got some letters back, people thanking us.
Oh, what is that?
Because it was just
Too busy.
Oh, man, there was amazing.
And,
So anyway, so we've kind of knocked that down, and we had, in the agreement, we had to do so much to upgrade the site, it was required for us to do it. And
yeah,
so
this.
we've been remiss in that at this point, so we're trying to get to the point where we're starting to work on it.
What's, in your opinion, the status of the three culverts?
They didn't look too bad to me.
That's what I was thinking.
It's just that, I think what happened was the beavers got in there so bad that the water would maybe even come over the top of that road at one point. It must have been
Maybe.
close,
Yeah.
and then it piped down the sides.
Yeah, yeah.
What diameter are they?
I'd say they're
36.
3
Yeah.
36 inch.
So there's three
footers.
foot.
There's probably 18 inches between them.
So,
Typical.
so what are you looking for as from us as far as, I mean, it sounds like at least an RDA, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
no, so what I was, in some of the paperwork that I have,
I guess you can't get grants when you're state. I'm just trying to think of where funding could come from.
so there's a couple things. Westover owned this, so I went back to them and asked them for plans that they may have. And I have one set here I can give you guys. It basically shows kind of the footprint. And there's all, this is the footprint here, but there's a larger one that actually shows like the old septic field. I think they had a grounding field in there for the antennas
Yeah,
and
for the
stuff.
radial system, yeah.
And so-
Yeah, actually, the radial system
How about
could
the
be really, you're not gonna dig,
underground, what is it?
you're not
tunnel
gonna dig,
system
you're not gonna
supposedly?
dig the radial system up, are you? There's like, typically on those, they put 120 radials at every antenna, and the wires are probably 100 feet long. You'll be digging up like miles of copper wire.
And so you can see through some of
Oh, yeah.
the
If
sidewalk.
it's copper, maybe we can sell it.
You probably can. That's what they'd have a ground screen,
Sure, yeah.
and then they'd have radial wires around each antenna. There's probably a tremendous amount of metal.
So in one of the reports, it does call out for that there was a delineation mapping that was done as part of this report. And I was hoping that maybe, Westover does not have a copy of it. So I was hoping maybe if they had done some filings with you before to take those buildings down, if you might have a copy of that we could scan, at least we'd have a base sheet to work on.
We can look for it, that's all we can do.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just something that we don't have. I mean,
We can't make a copy with that thing, right?
Only involvement I had on that was when I was on the Board of Health 20-some odd years ago. They had some monitoring
Or
wells.
can
that
you
they put
send
in.
us a copy,
'Cause they
email
had
us a
some,
copy? So we can look,
Not
so
so
we
nice
have dates to
compounds in the
look
ground
Yeah,
there.
I
for.
send you.
the foundations are immense, I think, once we start getting into
Oh, yeah,
those
oh,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what I would like to do,
Can they have this one?
yeah, that's a copy. Yeah.
All right.
There's-
I have these all digital, so I can even send them to you.
So you would take the foundation down just a couple of feet and then crush it and
We
backfill it?
probably pull them right out.
Even if they're 8 or 10 feet
Well,
deep?
I don't know. I'd
Yeah,
have
they
to
probably,
investigate.
they could be massive.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know exactly what's there. You can just see the tops of them.
You have to do some test borings and stuff.
Yeah, and then we'd like to take all any of the surface stuff off.
Yeah.
Natural Heritage is talking about just leaving it at a sandy site.
Right.
And let it restore that way, basically. We're gonna take the fencing down. I like to, there's some bituminous on the driveway going in. I think I'm just pull that off, make it just a gravel drive in there, fix the culvert, put a plate on this, and get across. And we would put silt fence on both sides between where we're working and not. We'd be in the footprint of the road going in. And then when we're back in there, I think the only thing that's really close is the back side of that, the chain link fence is probably right along the wetland on that one side. But we would do minimum impacts on it.
Good, again.
So I just filed an RDA for it, and, if someone wants to go out and look around out there with us, we can.
Can you contact like DEP and see if
Oh,
they're
I
willing
talked
to
Mark
work?
Stinson.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What, has he
Natural
discussed what
Heritage-
size culvert you really need to put in there or anything?
Well, we'd have a consultant do it.
Okay.
I mean,
You got some natural heritage stuff out there, don't you?
Yeah.
They came out on site that
I'm
did
trying to
about
think
a
of the
week
lady
ago.
I work with who's the plant
Well,
botanist.
Misty Ann, there's 2 or 3 of them. There's
Misty
Lauren
And,
Dorian,
Carol Frost.
Yeah, Carol,
she
that's,
was-
yeah.
yeah.
Carol was on site. Carol's the one that took
Maybe.
the GPS site for the phone pole house.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were enthusiastic in general about the project because we're trying to naturally.
Of course, beautiful. Well done.
She wanted me to go in there, I'm a plant conservation volunteer. She wanted me to go in there and see if I could identify some of the rare plants and help her out.
Oh,
out
there's
there.
actually, I don't have a copy of the report. I actually think they have, there's one plant species and a moth, I think, that they identified at some point. Let me find a copy of it here. I thought I made a copy of it. Well, anyway, I can send it, if you give me an email, I can send you what I have. This is our acquisition form, the evaluation. And this shows the
When
swamp.
was that site?
I'm
trying to
good
remember.
question.
Well, if this was done in
60s?
1990,
Okay.
Oh, but when it was abandoned, 60s?
Terry
Oh,
Blunt.
no.
well, it's been.
It was active.
90s.
It was
Oh, it was
active
active.
then.
Oh, all right.
Terry Blunt.
Yeah, Terry was the driving force.
Yeah.
They had a meeting on this, on the plant species and stuff that they had in there that they were
Oh,
trying
there's
to.
Oh, yeah, Blazing
Mr.
Star.
Chairman, I was on the commission back years ago. I don't remember any paperwork being submitted.
Only 100?
Only in the last century.
Yeah, this was filed, this is dated 1990. And my response to this would be, if it is 1990, it's a long time from there to now. We've got the Rivers Protection Act, which is 96, 95. So that's a different resource area that really has to be looked at. So if there's no wetlands around here, obviously we're not looking for them, but if the activity down there is the resource area, then talk about that and concentrate on that section. I mean, if there's wetlands down here and you're not working there, what's the point?
Yeah.
You don't need to
And
delineate
we're gonna stay
something.
within the footprint of that.
Right.
existing road.
You're up in
We're not-
here.
we're not gonna go
Right,
outside,
exactly.
we're gonna Back to the site.
So it should be pretty limited to what you're doing. And it's a very tight site, so.
So this is the report that Terry put together for the request that we made back in 2000, and I think that the transfer deed is like 2002. Those are the two rare species, Blazing Star and the Moth.
So what I'd like, I was hoping maybe get a better plan, but we do have some plans, and we would, like silt fence details and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. You guys can come out and look at it. I think if we could do it with an RDA, we would do it what we could do now, and then as we get money, we have
Yeah.
a limited amount of funds right now. We're trying to
I was
gauge
thinking
and stuff.
prescribed fire.
And
That
if-
was
and,
my,
That's
that
the
was my
end.
sense.
Yeah.
Our ecologist wants us to take those covers out and put in a box in there, and that's a discussion
Right,
that, and that would be a notice of intent and the design of that whole thing is much more
exactly. That's
extensive
gonna
than
be,
what I want to get into at this point.
but
It's a lot of taxpayer money, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if it went to something that we had people driving in and out of all the time.
Then you would
At
deal
this
with
point,
it.
I'm just looking at what
this
would
section, so.
Yeah.
respect the resource and allow us to get the construction vehicles.
Get it done, right.
And actually, if we could have another way to get in there, I would just pull them out and let the stream go back. Because beavers love that place.
You know, that's actually an interesting thought. You could put a temporary bridge, do your work, go across, get rid of the bridge, and that would be it. And maybe put a
Well,
footbridge in
footbridge,
for somebody.
Yeah.
A clear span footbridge.
Emergency access, would anyone need to get in there eventually, like with a fire truck or? Oh, the other thing
They
is,
can come in
there is,
off alignment
the Air Force sold a right of way
to Moose.
to Moose, this guy Moose, he owns a piece of property. I think it's on that.
He's
oh,
right
Moose?
here, right here. And he needed access through our,
See, here, those three culverts, those green letters, see, and they gave him this right of way so he could do forestry practices on an adjacent piece of property there. So we can't really take, I don't know, unless
Yeah.
he'd be willing to let us take the culverts out.
Oh, yeah, yep.
They call them 42-inch CMPs.
So anyway, that's kind of what we're going to do. We have some money that we need to spend before the fiscal year ends.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of get the gate made and
Great.
fix the culverts up. And if we get more money, then we would try to get into the site and get some of the foundation stuff out. And then probably the chain link fence if we can get it out of there.
Well, so you're just taking a piece at a time?
Yeah, I mean, we figured it was gonna be a couple $100,000 to get all the foundations out of it and do all the work, and we have like
we've got about half of that.
half maybe. So,
But can you use some of your DCR own equipment to pull some of that out?
well, we have a heavy machinery operator, but, those guys are mainly like small little projects, hauling junk cars. They're not really, this is this level.
Okay.
Plus, I don't know if there are any remediations, any contaminated sections, but you said it's all.
I think it's all cleaned up.
Jack
I think it's all
Moriarty, the
cleaned.
environmental engineer.
Yeah, I know
from
Jack
Westover.
well. Yeah, I've worked with Jack on that years and
He
years.
says that they did all the remediation
Yeah,
as far as.
that was done in the
Was
90s.
it, oil or peat?
Yeah, they had some trichloroethylene, some solvent for cleaning the radio equipment and stuff. Yeah.
And so Sandy in there.
Is Jack retired yet?
No, he's still there.
Is he?
Yeah, but,
I haven't seen him.
I think it was funny because I was down doing some work down at Trinity State Park.
Yeah,
And I was in his office one time, this is years ago, and we were trying to straighten something out with some drainage coming off the de-icing pads going into the river.
Yep.
And I'm sitting down in the front office and I could hear him say, yeah, we got this piece over in Granby. And boy, I'm so glad to get rid of that. The beavers are always in there.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, we own it.
That's
So
great fun.
anyway.
Great fun. Great
They're
fun.
doing what they're doing, so.
So, you want that? I mean, any of this?
Yeah, we ought to start a file, Amanda.
Yeah.
Can we start a little?
Ariel's pretty good.
Thank you for all the info. there.
Yeah,
And there's two things, yeah.
And maybe we'll talk to you
So
about
include
the
that
other
other
dam
foam
project
house.
too.
in your RDA, if you're gonna do a RDA,
Yeah.
the removal of that.
Of what?
Whole house?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if it's outside a
Oh,
resource
it's
area.
outside of the resource
Yeah.
area. Okay.
Anything that's within the resource area or
I
close
think
to
the
it,
buildings and all that sort of thing.
that's probably far removed.
That would be a pond now, because it's being impounded. The brook
Okay.
starts probably at the culverts,
Right.
where it goes riverine, and even just below
Well,
that.
remember the 200 feet when you're thinking of it.
Yeah,
But you're
so-
probably more, than yeah,
I think, some of these fence corners,
Yep.
that one, and something here.
But this is no
And then
brainer, it's a
that.
right,
restoration.
yeah, so,
It's,
Yeah.
it's only improving. the
So,
situation.
so I'll probably
yeah.
file.
So it's
Great
converting,
to meet you, Tim.
converting, yeah, there's a name for it, converting
Yeah.
previous,
Yeah, I have a form of you a copy of this, so.
If you,
So, they want much of a copy. This is the acquisition
acquisition.
stuff. That's most of the mapping and that one, you get that, you still have that map, or did you take it all?
I think I gave everything back. I didn't know which.
I have two copies of it, and I have digitally too, so.
okay, all right.
That has what I got from Jack.
So, do you have Kathy Leonard's information, so when you're ready to come before us again, so you can get on the agenda?
I was very grateful to Kathy Leonard a few years back when we were doing some acquisition and the town was, there was, Blueberry.
Oh, yes, oh,
Gave
yes.
a bunch of tax title properties to the
Right,
agency, for
right.
which we had to remit
Off
the
of,
balance that was owed, so like one
You're
of the
kidding.
prices we got from, $57.
yeah, wow.
Crazy.
oh, the that's right.
The one
Off between Bachelor Street and the top of the
Yeah,
mountain, yeah.
exactly,
Oh, I
yeah.
worked on those. Those are
Yeah.
fun. Are you guys out of Boylston or Amherst office?
Yeah,
Amherst
well,
office.
He's Amherst, I'm
Yeah,
Mercy.
good,
We're
excellent.
local.
Well, good, I'm glad you don't have to drive back to
No,
Boylston,
sir.
that would be a long drive to.
Okay.
Do you have a timeline when you think you'll be filing the,
No problem, maybe this week I'll see if I can get it in and send it in. You're meeting, what, every other week now?
2 weeks.
2
The 10th of April is our
Yeah,
next,
that's nice.
Yeah.
correct,
The 10th
correct,
of April, it
correct,
sounds like it's
correct.
gonna be booked.
Yeah, yeah, it should be.
I'll get, I think it's, what we're talking about doing is minimal at this point. We'll get to the culvert replacement if that's gonna happen.
That's gonna be an INOI.
That'll be a separate filing. We'll have a consultant do with that.
Yeah.
definitely.
And then, we probably have Lane, they're on board for 3 years.
So, yeah, make sure you have some good diagrams of the crossing and how you want to improve it temporarily.
Okay, folks, thank you, great to meet you.
You want my phone number and that?
No, unless you have a
She
business
left her
card.
Yeah, that's your stuff.
All right,
Okay. Keep it home.
All right, thank you.
Nice meeting you, everybody.
Thank you.
meet you.
I got his phone number, y'all need that.
Okay, let's finish up notices and CBAs. I've got an RDA here, just to give you guys a heads up. Request for determination of applicability,
Now you know.
filed by Lawrence Tucker at West Cornell Street, South Hadley.
So happy?
Well,
It might be one of the
bordering.
properties.
We'll wait till this is formally before us,
So
so.
where's, when's, it's gonna be next, that's that being advertised for next?
What's the nature of new construction?
Footbridge, it looks like.
Oh, okay, that's the foot, all right, I think I know what that
7:30?
is.
25-foot
Yeah, I
footbridge.
know what that is.
You wanna look at that, you want?
That's actually the same neck of the woods. All right, very good. Anything else, Mr. Chairman?
This says February 13th.
That's probably when it was filed. It's,
Yeah, on Tuesday, February 13th, it was supposed to be.
yeah,
out.
snowstorm, I'm guessing.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's what it says.
The checklist that Kathy has here is site, legal ad, completed application, legal ad, site visit, and we don't have the decision, and proof of registry of NOI or certificate of compliance or anything like
So,
that.
yeah, so we're supposed, I don't know. We need to have it put on the agenda. It might need to be re-advertised.
Yeah. Have Kathy call this guy, Mr. Tucker. Have him come in for the next meeting,
And we'll have to have
April
it,
10th.
and put it on the agenda, I guess.
It wasn't on the agenda, so.
No, it wasn't, right? But it needs to be.
I have a letter here from Division of Fishery and Wildlife, a certified vernal pool with latitude 42.2961, 72.5242 west.
I was just asking Amanda if they had to certify that one on Trout Valley.
I don't know.
So we
Ed,
don't
can you
know.
call it up on your iPhone, that location, quickly?
You can do that on Google Earth, I believe. If you type in that latitude and longitude,
Okay, what was it?
here. Or the vernal pool viewer.
I wish we got that as email.
Here's a letter from Mr. Tucker regarding, he's asked for an extension. He will notify us when he's ready to file again.
Mr. Tucker, who's that?
So
That's
he's
that-
withdrawing?
He's
what he just
basically,
submitted?
he's saying, please accept this letter as notification that we wish to postpone our RDA Form Number 1 application that has been scheduled for February 27th meeting. We'd like to take more time to we would like to take more time in preparation of this application. Please feel free to contact me with any time regarding this matter.
So should we put that letter in that file then?
Yeah.
How do you change the coordinates you're using? Oh, found it.
Decimal degrees?
That was what I used, yeah. Which means that I'm getting close. Well, I have the certified rental pools layer on, and they said that they updated overnight, so it should be on.
Should be on it.
Oops. So as long as I'm in the right vicinity, I should see the little blue dot.
So what's the criterion? Any homeowner can, or property owner can request their vernal pool be certified by the Commonwealth?
They have to
There's
submit
a way.
paperwork.
You have to file.
There's a
that
little one.
paperwork.
There's a blue dot, is that it?
No, that's the property I just searched before.
Oh.
You didn't do that to me, by the way.
I didn't know if it was Trutlow.
I hope it's not Jim the Rocky's Pond.
All right, these are all old letters these have been read in before. Anybody want these ARC newsletters, GIS? You want this? ECR? GIS?
Ed, what's the status of,
That's
of,
one of them. There is a vernal pool right in here, which is, I don't know where this is.
That's Forge Pond.
Oh, okay. So it's
Add it
by
to,
Forge Pond.
it is Forge Pond?
it's probably a spillway.
That's
Oh,
what it said. I accidentally did all of it.
that's interesting.
That is the end
Is
of the
there a
correspondence,
dot
all the
near,
other, they're old
Trutlow?
correspondence.
Figure out how to get-
All right, guys,
I move we adjourn tonight.
there's a motion on the table for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.